Hello friends, good morning. Welcome to ASTRA. This is Dhanunjay. Uh, Today it is 24th of February. Just quickly look at what are the current affairs that we have in the Hindu for our UPSC prelims as well as mains from this. So in the front page you are seeing the slide that I have prepared. It is carrying two things. One is about Russia-Ukraine war, which has happened 1 year exactly by today, and then there is Cheetah reintroduction program which is happening, the second round of Cheetah reintroduction programs. Apart from that, we have some other things which are in news. Supreme Court allows Palaniswamy to remain at AIADMK helm. Now this is again yesterday. Until yesterday we have seen the Maharashtra politics. Now it is turning towards Tamil Nadu. So again in Tamil Nadu there was two factions in AIADMK. Now Palaniswamy has approached the Supreme Court and Supreme Court has said that whatever Palaniswamy's statement is correct. More is going to come on this, but that is the thing. Just remember the heading so that you will be writing it in some answer writing. In airport drama, Congress leader Pawan Khera held for remarks on Modi. Now this can be the Supreme Court. What he was done is he has criticized Modi by using some objectionable words. He was arrested in the morning. He was taken to Supreme Court by the evening, and Supreme Court has directed him to grant some interim bail. So that is the thing. So Russia-Ukraine war enters into the second phase, and as we have been seeing regularly, that GST revenue has been consistently increasing these days. This is a good news for the country altogether, right? So this is the advantage of having one nation, one tax, and this is very clearly evident from the so-called the increasing GST tax revenues month on month. So for the first time in this year, we have seen a substantial improvement in this gains. So the next one is 5 lakh patients used QR code in 365 hospitals for faster registration. Where you can use this, in answer writing about advantages of having technology in financial inclusion and financial transactions. We have been seeing that the financial transactions in India has been increased substantially as far as this is considered. That is the digital transactions. There is one more thing. Winter summer transition triggers gastroenterological and respiratory illness. Now, as we are moving from the so-called the winter season to summer season, then there are some respiratory problems that people of the city are facing. That is particularly they are facing some gastroenterological problems. That includes your whenever the season is transferring or changing, viral infections are very common during this period. So where you can use this is for our preparedness. So we as human beings has to be prepared in our regular life so that we will be outside these diseases. So what are the things that you have to look at? Cold, cough, fever, sore throat, fatigue, respiratory difficulty, bronchitis, vomiting and diarrhea are some of the symptoms that people are finding. So be prepared for that. This is not for UPSC, but this is for our personal life. So this is what you have in the print page, and going to directly to the so-called editorial page. But before going to the editorial page, there is one thing coming from Chennai. Women fleeing ritual sacrifice offered asylum by the state government. Now, what is this? There is a 23-year-old woman in Madhya Pradesh. She has fled from her home because her stepmother was about to sacrifice her in the name of black magic. So, human sacrifices are still continuing in a country where advancements of science and technology is to this extent. So, there are certain pockets of these incidents which are happening. So this is about right to religious freedom, right to rationality, and right to life. So you can consider all these things and you can use this in answer writing also. And this is a specific case, or this one you have to note it down when you are writing answers. So grandson of C. Rajagopalachari quits Congress. We are not bothered about this grandson. Please have a look at what C. Rajagopalachari's contribution is to the Indian national movement. The next one, a very good editorials have come today on anti-defection. So there were two editorials. One is the interview and anti-defection, and this one is the this. So what is this anti-defection? Let me give you a quick review. We all know that recently the political parties, after getting to elections or after conducting the elections, after winning the power, these members of a political party are defracting or moving out of their political party and joining other political party. Now, why a party member who has won the election is defracting other party? This is not because of ideological difference, because if it is an ideological difference, they wouldn't have met with that party in the first instance. So the question is why they are moving. They are moving for political office, the lure that it brings, the monetary benefits, the political office benefits that they get. They are shifting out of their political parties. Obviously, people vote to a political candidate looking at the party as a result. If one member joins one political party and other political party, he is killing the trust of the people, or he is killing democracy in the first instance. What are the effects that it will have on the political party? Maybe if this political party is the ruling party, if majority of the people are leaving the political party and join the other political party, obviously that political party may come down. As a result, government may lose its majority. The second thing that it might face some problem is, over a period of time, if the speaker and the governor together are in favor of the so-called central government, then central government can excessively involve into this affairs, and then they can get their political party to power. This is what we have seen recently in Karnataka, followed by Maharashtra, followed by Goa. The most peculiar thing has come from Goa, because in Goa, Congress has been the majority government. But what happens successively is, majority of the people or many of the contested candidates, after winning the elections, they have shifted to BJP. As a result, Congress government was shattered and BJP government came to picture. So in this context, after these three examples, what we have to find is whether anti-defection law, which was enacted in 1985, is it really working in the country, or is it not working? So if we look at these considerations, whether it is working or not, it is said that anti-defection has been not working these days. So the reasons are this: they were not able to stop the flow of people moving from one political party to other political party using the loopholes. What are the loopholes? The split that anti-defection has. Though it was amended in the year 2002, saying that it cannot be considered as a split if two-thirds of the party members are leaving the party and going out. But this is the major thing that we are finding these days: two-thirds of the political party members leaving that party and leaving other party. So this has failed in that instant. The second thing that anti-defection failed is the political party members, once they were elected, they should have freedom of speech. But this freedom of speech is not present, because the party is issuing a whip and it is asking not to cross the line. The best example is the recent Karnataka Farm Acts. Inside the BJP political party, many of the MLAs or MPs were unhappy with the farm laws. As a result, they were internally they were against these laws. But again, they were not in a position to go against the party line, because of this anti-defection provisions. Having said this, anti-defection is not only killing or not only stopping the political party members from moving to one party to other party, but the second problem that it is creating is internal party democracy is also taken away by these anti-defection provisions. Anyhow, the political party members are using the loopholes in the system, such as there is no time limit on the speaker to decide on this anti-defection. The governor of the state, whenever he is appointed by the central nominee. As a result, he is always favored in the so-called central government, many always, not majority of the times. And then the speaker and deputy speaker's role is also not neutral. Considering all these issues, anti-defection seems to be a law that has failed. The best example is the thing that we have seen recently in Maharashtra, examples from Karnataka, examples from Goa. So in this context, two articles were written. I request all the GS students to go through these articles, the first article as well as second article. No need to read about the politics that was there in Maharashtra, but go through these provisions. What exactly is this anti-defection provisions and what they are needing. So if you are unable to read the front article, at least go through this interview article. Does anti-defection law need changes? They have given a very substantial amount of understanding. Now, if you are unable to read it also, please download my document that I have been uploading below this video. You can just underline those things that I have gone through it. Right? I have written points 1, 2, 3. That is the thing that you have to refer. Now, rights at the center, interests of the children must be at the focus always, not just custodial disputes. Now, this is regarding a recent judgment by the Supreme Court, saying that in testing the infidelity of the couple, children should not be used as the first means of testing. That is, it is all known that in order to test infidelity in India, as a first line of defense, we will immediately take the DNA of the children and then we will conclude. Recently, the Supreme Court said that taking out the DNA of the children is against their right to privacy. Hence, that is to be protected, and DNA of the child should be collected only as a test of last resort. This is significant improvement because it is in line with the so-called United Nations Security Council, United Nations Declaration of Rights of Children, and we are following that thing, and it is a very good thing for Government of India to follow or this advice that Government of Supreme Court of India has given. Right. So this is what it is speaking. Again, just go through it. It can be useful. Remember that article. Yesterday we have discussed this. Just have an understanding of it. Next, safe across borders. Again, one good article coming from India and Singapore. This is related to digital transactions that has happened between India versus Singapore. We all know that Indian UPI was interlinked with the so-called Singapore's phone pay, or what you call Singapore's pay now. Now these two transactions has happened. In this context, they have written what is the advantage that it is going to have. The advantages are obvious. The first thing is daily transaction cost is going to come down. People who are involved in this, their transaction service amount is going to be falling down. There is no need to go for around the wire transactions. You can just directly click from your home. Now, as people, we have sizable population of Indians in Singapore. Now it is easy for remittances, and Government of India has to explore these type of options, even not only with Singapore but majority of the countries. This is what the article is saying. Another good article to read. So if you are interested to read, you can read these two articles. One is anti-defection provisions. The second provision is about this India Singapore unified payment interface. The third thing is you can just have a look at the so-called Supreme Court judgment on the rights of children as far as DNA testing is considered. So fourth one, India's R&D research estimates. This is not that relevant for UPSC, but the data is relevant. Only in the first paragraph it is given. So India's R&D expenditure is just 0.7% of the entire country compared to the emerging economies. If you look at the major economies, their R&D expenditure is 1.8%, but India's is 0.7%. Particularly, the so-called private participation in R&D is very, very poor in India. In the emerging countries or developed economies, if you look, the private contribution to this R&D is around 2/3, that is 66%, but in India it is around 1/3, that is 37%. So these are the things that is entirely useful from this article. Only first paragraph, have a look, but the rest of the things is completely technical. No need to go into that depth unless and until you are engineering student who is waiting for patent, right? So, but for UPSC students, only first paragraph is important. Next one, a very good thing, a new home for the big cats. So just have a look at this subheading that they have given. A seated cheetah before being flown with 11 others from South Africa to India. We all know that India has made cheetah reintroduction program with Namibia of of Africa, and then we are reintroducing. Earlier we have reintroduced 8 cheetahs, in which there were 5 females and 3 males, and today we are introducing another 11 cheetahs from the so-called Namibia, right? So what are the things? The entire subtitle that they have given, or the theme that they have given, is very important. Now they were flown to the so-called Kuno Palpur National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Again, these are also flown into the same national park. It is a part of India's cheetah reintroduction program, and we all know that Indian cheetahs are extinct in the year 1952. Why? Because of overhunting and loss of habitat, right? This is what is important for prelims. A very good thing. In one paragraph, he has given entire consolidation of cheetahs that are important for our prelims. After this, pro-Khalistani leaders, supporters attack Punjab police in Aznala. Now, this is in Chandigarh. Recently, there are some internal security problems inside this union territory because the Khalistani forces or pro-Khalistani forces has asked to not support the law and order, and they are agitating with their swords and guns against the so-called government of the state. Now, this is something which is internal security problem of the country. So please remember this in the context of internal security. Over a period of time, this will be an emerging news. We will be following it continuously. But for now, you remember that pro-Khalistani leaders are those people who are asking for a separate state of Punjab for their own independent rule. That is what their demand is. And this is continuing in these parts of the country. So majorly, this is going to be an updated news early in the coming days. Just remember the heading, that is more than enough. 9 guest countries for G20 to bring their own plans to the summit, officials. Says the officials. Now, recently the Indian government, the head of this G20 summit this year, has appointed 9 countries as guest countries. Who are those countries? Bangladesh, Egypt, Mauritius, Netherlands, Nigeria, Oman, Singapore, Spain, and United Arab Emirates. If you look, they are global south countries. India is reflecting an image that we are the leaders of the global south, and we are voicing out the global south role. Now, this is a clear example that India has selected all these countries from the global south, and this is a clear indication that we want to have an equal share in the global world order. That is, the global south has to have a equal role in the global world order. That is the thing that it is reflecting. So please remember this. What are the guest countries that we have? Bangladesh, Egypt, Mauritius, Netherlands, Nigeria, Oman, Singapore, Spain, UAE. There might be a probable question on UPSC prelims on these countries or on these guest countries. Next one. These are the things that we have particularly in this current affairs today, and something is coming, some other thing like 60% of the Indian voters are linked to Aadhaar to voter ID, says an RTA. So this shows that how far Aadhaar is encroaching into some other domains like electoral ID also. So though Aadhaar is not used as a citizenship proof, but still 60% of Indian voters are linked with Aadhaar. This is the thing that you have to remember. And some news is coming from Kaziranga National Park. So the Union Ministry has asked a report on Kaziranga rhino estimation, and it is said that in Kaziranga around 2.9% or 2.7% annual growth in this rhino is seen in the state as Kaziranga or in the Kaziranga National Park, right? And there is one more news called National Commission for Scheduled Tribes issues a warrant against bank CEO because he has harassed a scheduled tribe woman in Odisha. So where you can write, this is the functions of National Commission for SCs and STs, right? So this might be a problem. These things will be a regular question in PSIR. So just remember this as an example. NCST issues a warrant against bank CEO in Odisha for sexually or for harassing the so-called scheduled tribe in Odisha. Next, President Draupadi Murmu has issued Sangeet Natak Academies. So far, UPSC has not asked about Sangeet Natak Academies, but if you are preparing for state exams, this might be a question. Now, one best article coming from Prime Minister Modi speech, that is potential of renewable energy sources. What is the best thing in this? We have they have given what is India's commitments for green energy. We all know that budget 2023-24 has a separate document for green energy growth. One pillar is green growth, right? So in the green growth, Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the country, has said that there are 3 essential pillars to achieve this green growth. The first one is we have to transmit increasingly from the so-called production of renewable energy, reducing the fossil fuels. So transition from fossil fuels to the so-called renewable energy is the first thing. The second thing that they said is move to gas-based economy. We have to move from gas-based economy. And the third thing is we have to excessively produce this renewable energy. So there are 3 things. One is excessively produce renewable energy, decrease the fossil fuel usage, and the third one is move to gas-based economy. These are the 3 areas in which we can attain the green growth. And what are the schemes that Government of India has launched in order to protect or in order to improve this renewable energy sources? Now, there are some schemes like ethanol blending program, Pradhana Mantri Kisan Urja Sanrakshana Evam Maha Abhiyan, that is PM Kusum. And then you have what is PM Kusum? It is a scheme which is launched for solarizing the agriculture, and it intensives for solar manufacturing of top roof solar power plants. This is what it was said. And then you have National Hydrogen Mission. In the news, we have already seen this. National Hydrogen Mission aims to produce 5 million tons of hydrogen by allotting 19,000 crores of money. Then Govardhan Yojana. So remember the 4 schemes that was mentioned here: ethanol blending program, PM Kusum, National Green Hydrogen Mission, Govardhan Yojana. So you can write this as examples that India has taken in order to ensure that there is green energy growth. No, budget lacks enough emphasis on jobs, says former RBI Governor Subbarao. Right, he has already written an article about this. We have already discussed that before the budget. That is on January 29th or 30. He has written that article. We have seen extensively about it. In the text and context page, There is a news about past and present Russia's war in Ukraine. This is a quick summary of 1 year war between Russia and Ukraine. If you are interested, please go through it. I have gone through it, but we didn't find much thing that is relevant for UPSC. Just to gain some knowledge how the war has happened, because we are consistently following the war. We have consistently updating this news, so there is no much news from this war as of now. Right, guys, this is the thing that we have from today's current affairs, The Hindu. Thanks for joining. I wish you all the best. Have a good luck.